If you're new to making sourdough bread, stick around because I'm working with my mom today to make her first loaf of sourdough. So we're going to walk through all the steps. This is my mom, Susan, and you're making sourdough for the first time today, right?
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever made it, and Summer is teaching me how.
It's going to be great, so follow along if you're new to sourdough. The first thing you're going to do is get your bowl on your scale and put that to 0, and we're going to add 600 grams of bread flour into the bowl. And you want to be extremely precise with baking bread. So I poured 612 grams, so I'm going to scoop it out until I get exactly 600. Bingo. Now we'll move on to the next ingredient.
What do I do?
Okay, so the next is 350 grams of water temperature between 100 and 105 degrees, which we have here. So go ahead and pour that in. Perfect. So next we're going to add 12 grams of salt. Right.
The salt.
Viv's adding the salt to hers. And the next step is to add in some active starter. We've been activating our starter, and so now we're going to add in 100 grams.
This.
That's right. So we're going to set a bowl on there and then zero it out so we know. There we go. That way we know when we have 100 grams of starter in there.
Looks like it's got a bubble or two. Is that all right?
Yep.
Okay. 100, how much now?
100 grams. Ooh, getting close. Oops. There we go. So you're a little over, so you'll just want to scoop some of that out to make it exactly 100 grams. Okay. You can take that 100 grams and dump it in with everything else. Scrape it all in there. Once you have all of it in there, you're going to give it a nice mix to mix all the ingredients together. Starter smells so good. So once you have all the ingredients mixed together, you're going to have kind of a crumbly, wet dough. And this is when you start the part known as stretch and folds. So it's going to be crumbly and it's going to be wet, as I mentioned. And what you're going to do, you're going to take it in your hands, and it helps to wet your fingers so the dough doesn't stick as much, but I forgot to do that. So you're going to take it and you're going to stretch it up as much as you can, like that, and it'll break apart pretty easily because it's fresh dough. And then you're going to, I like to spin the bowl 45 degrees and then do it again. So you're stretching and folding the next edge. There's not really an edge in a ball of dough, but it's, for lack of a better term. Then I spin the bowl another 45 degrees. I do it again. Right? And again, if you wet your fingers, you have less problem like this. Then this is the fourth edge, if you will, that I did like that. So that's one set of stretch and folds. And then we are going to cover this with plastic wrap, and we're going to come back and do another set of stretch and folds in half an hour. So I like to, when I write down the times of my stretch and folds, so we just did that. So it's 4:54 p.m. and I wrote it down. So we'll come back in half an hour and do another set. So the thing I neglected to mention when the stretch and fold is you want to grab the edge and you want to pull the whole thing up so the whole thing is lifted out, and stretch it. I shake it just because it makes it stretch faster. It speeds up the process. So until you stretch until it breaks, and then spin it and do the same thing. And the idea is to do that for all 4 edges. So you do it 4 times per set of stretch and folds. Yeah, like that. Now you're cooking with gas. Okay, I've done 4, so now we wait for another half an hour. The idea is for the gluten to form so that it stretches a little bit because the dough is supposed to stay connected. Yeah, that's better. Now once it's broken, then you drop it and spin the bowl a quarter turn and do it the next side. Yeah, give it a nice shake. Shake, 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 until it won't stretch anymore, and then drop it. There you go. And do it again until you've done all 4 sides.
Okay, so pick it up, all of it, each time.
That's right. Give it a nice shake. And try, get it to shake downward. Yeah, there you go.
When shall I let it go?
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then turn it, a quarter turn, and pick it up all again, and shake it.
Yep, you want to get it to stretch down as much as it will stretch. There you go.
This looks like a dead chicken who's been feathered.
It's gonna taste a little different than chicken, hopefully. If it tastes like chicken, you're doing something wrong. And you'll notice as you're doing it that all the extra flour that wasn't mixed into the dough gets absorbed every time you do a set of stretch and folds.
All right.
Yeah.
You're right, it is.
Okay, I'm back in my kitchen for the last set of stretch and folds. Remember, we're doing 6 sets, and then you have to let it rest for half an hour. And so you have to plan your time accordingly because it's 2.5 hours. I had to come home because it's almost bedtime and I couldn't stay at my mom's kitchen all night. And once you're done with your final set of stretch and folds, you're going to want to line your baking pan with some parchment paper. Put a little flour in there so that it doesn't stick as badly when you go to pull the bread out. Shape it nicely into the bottom of the pan, and then you're ready to put it in the fridge overnight. All right, just pulled this out of the fridge. It was in the fridge all night, and now I'm gonna stick it in the oven to proof. With the light on for a little extra warmth for about 5 hours. After it's done proofing, we cook it in a 375-degree oven for about 35 minutes or until the internal temperature reaches between 190 and 200 degrees. So we started our loaves together, but we finished them separately. So now I'm checking back in with my mom. Well, why don't you tell us how your loaf came out?
It did. It turned out just fine, I think.
Let's see it. I would.
Ta-da!
Ooh, look at that. Here, flip it forward so I can see it. The front, yeah. Oh, that looks beautiful. Lift it up a little bit so we can see the whole thing.
Like that?
Beautiful. For a first loaf of bread. I love it.
Well, thank you for teaching me how to do it.
Yeah, we'll have to I'll have to get a word from you on how it tastes once you cut into it.
All right. Good plan.
I checked in with my mom a few days later, and this is what she said. Hi, Summer. The first loaf of sourdough bread turned out great. The texture was good, and the taste was wonderful. Bam! That's what you want. She even mentioned that she made another loaf after that and shared it with friends, and she is on the sourdough train, which is exactly what we want. More people making delicious sourdough bread from home. Congratulations to Mom, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.